A veteran defenseman possibly out of the lineup tomorrow, new middle six lines, and high praise for a young Flyers player who maybe has had some skepticism from John Tortorella in the past. I'm Charlie O'Connor with PHLY Sports, and it's time for my daily Flyers post-practice update, giving you the rundown of what you missed today from the Flyers Training Center in Voorhees. So we'll kick it off with lineup changes. Not a guarantee, but usually the lines that they run the day before a game in practice and the pairings they run probably going to line up with the lineup they run the next game. And what we saw today was Marc Staal on the extra pair with Louis Belpedio, Igor Zamola up on the third pair with Rasmus Ristolainen. So right now, it looks like Marc Staal will sit out on Thursday against the New Jersey Devils. We asked John Tortorella after practice about his view of Ristolainen and Staal, both returning from injuries. He said he's liked Ristolainen's game so far. He said Ristolainen honestly has probably exceeded his expectations coming back from such a long layoff. Staal, on the other hand, has struggled a bit. Said possibly has to do with his age, the long layoff of his own, coming off of the rib injury. And it didn't come out and say it, but it seems like there's a good chance that Marc Staal will not play on Thursday. That wasn't the only lineup change, though. We had Ryan Poehling, who's had a long extended audition in the top nine, was back on the fourth line, that old PhD line with Delorier and with Garnet Hathaway. And as a result, we had a new look middle six. The top line of Tyson Forrester, Sean Couturier, and Travis Konecny held, but two new lines in the middle. We've got Joel Farabee with Scott Lawton and Cam Atkinson, then Owen Tippett with Morgan Frost and Bobby Brink. Now, to me, and this goes back to the piece I wrote after last night's game, check that out on allphly.com, about the idea of the Noah Cates injury, his broken foot that's going to keep him out for 6 to 8 weeks. It gives guys opportunities, particularly guys that have been in something of a rotation. They've been healthy scratch. We're talking about guys like Frost, guys like Brink, even guys like Poehling, although Poehling has sort of fallen into being an every-night guy over the last few weeks. With Cates out, they only have 12 healthy forwards, which means that now guys don't have to be looking over their shoulder quite as much. It's an opportunity for them to show they deserve to be in the nightly lineup, and they can take advantage of this opportunity. My guess is that these lineup shifts, these line changes per se, are more about towards giving guys like Frost and Brink as much of an opportunity to take advantage of the Cates absence and prove they deserve to be a key part of this moving forward. That said, it's a double-edged sword. The opportunity is there, so they got to go out there and take it. I thought Frost in particular struggled a lot last night. He needs to be a lot better than he was on Tuesday night. We'll see if he can do it with Tippett and Brink as their line mates. Well, Frost continues to kind of have an uphill battle to win over John Tortorella. John Tortorella in the past has expressed some skepticism about Cam York. He's recently pulled him off the power play, but we asked Tortorella about Cam York after practice today, and John Tortorella had nothing but really good things to say about Cam York. He said he knows the offense hasn't been coming around. He does plan to get York back on the power play at some point in the near future, but he's really liked the defensive play of Cam York in a top pair role, largely alongside Travis Sanheim, facing top lines, top competition, tough minutes. He's really liked that Cam York has stepped up defensively and really improved that element of his game. He actually doesn't necessarily think that Cam York has to be an offensive defenseman to stick at the NHL level. He thinks that Cam York has the ability to be a plus defensive player despite his size, and he could carve out a role for himself there, even if he doesn't prove to be a plus power play weapon like a lot of people thought he might be when he got drafted in the first round a few years back. So good news for Cam York. It looks like he will get back on the power play. And if you were wondering if he might possibly be on the borderline of maybe being a healthy scratch, especially with guys like Staal and Ristolainen back in the lineup, it appears his spot in the Flyers lineup is safe. That'll do it for today's practice update at Voorhees. I'm Charlie O'Connor from PHLY Sports. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.
We all silly like the mayor.